YouTube, what's up, man? Had to jump on here real quick. I know it's been way overdue, but I had to jump on here real quick, get my intake on this UFC 251 massive card. I'm gonna talk further more about that on my podcast Anchor, but right now I just want to jump into the main event and get my predictions and my analysis on the main event. I mean, Jorge, Kamal. First off, I just want to start off by saying we all wanted this fight, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to get it out the way. No disrespect to Gilbert Burns, you know. He right now he's doing his thing. He came off a highly successful win against Tyrone Woodley, dominated him. So to see him lose his title shot due to the COVID, you know, it's definitely a tragic, but you know, safety first, you know, it is what it is, but that young man keep going on his demolition tour the way he's doing right now, there's no doubt in my mind he is gonna get a title shot, you know. So, but when I did see the news that he wasn't gonna fight in the main event before they even announced Masvidal was gonna replace him, I really did feel for him, you know, because again, you know, to actually go to Fight Island and to get tested and to have a once in a lifetime chance to accomplish your dream, and you're right there, literally right there, and for it to be taken away, like that, it's pretty crazy. So I hope he keeps his head up and again just keep going, you know, because I didn't really know too much about him, but then again, that performance he did against Woodley and then seeing his other fights, you know, I'm like, wow, he's coming up. He's coming up quick. Again, he was going to fight for the belt. So that goes to show that he's in the right direction, in the right path. So now we get that out the way. Jorge, Kamal. I mean, it's safe to say this is what we all wanted. I'm still in shock that, it's going to happen. I don't want to jinx anything, or this, that, and the third. But this is the fight we all wanted to see. It's safe to say. We all want to see this. I mean, Masvidal's story, it just keeps getting better and better. Hell of a year, hell of a story, starting from the backyard with, with Kimbo, and all the way from him fighting in different organizations and fighting the who's and, holding his own, even though he lost some close decisions. But still, he Gamebred was pretty much in every fight he's ever fought. Even the losses, like I said, the losses he had, it's not like he got dominated or annihilated or anything. He just got outpointed, out-grappled here and there. But nonetheless, there's somebody that's had so much fights and is still going. And to see him where he's at now, after he took a year off from the sport, is phenomenal. So if he could pull this off on Saturday, Fight Island, when he wasn't even scheduled to be there, now he just pumped so much life into that whole card. You know what I'm saying? Not to say the card was going to be trash, because I'll talk about that on my podcast and Anchor. You still got fights on there that's just huge. The Holloway, the Volkanovski, the Peter Yan, the Jose. Oh, come on now, come on. I'm gonna talk about that on my podcast Anchor. Check that out. Always good contact. But still, back to Masvidal. To me, if he pulled this off Saturday to become the welterweight champ, it's arguably one of the best stories up there, one of the best title runs up there. I mean, come on now. I'm in lost of words, and then from him having a little, disagreement with Dana White and the UFC, whatever the case may be, and for them to pull through and have a deal, I feel like his stock even go up even more to show that he's so much of a badass. You know what I'm saying? So again, this fight could go so many ways. I feel like, well, I said it before, Masvidal to me has been not only one of the best boxers, has like one of the best hands in the welterweight division, but I feel like one of the best pure strikers in the UFC, period. His punches is crisp, connect, he throw good kicks, you know what I'm saying? So I just can't wait to see it. And on the other hand, I'm so excited for this fight. Fingers crossed everything plans out how it should. Kamaru Usman is on a roll right now, obviously. Coming off 2 great fights with from him winning the belt and then, having a hell of a performance against Covington. So 2 high-profile fights, and Usman done showed out. He came up, showed up, and showed out. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in this fight, he's definitely going to have to – you're going to see Usman definitely go back to his wrestling. And it's just plain and simple. That's where it all comes down to, is how good is Masvidal's wrestling. And when I say that, I'm saying because – not to say that that's a weak part of his game. I would not go as far to say that. But I seen him lose to Damian Maia, and I'm just going by what I see. And Damian Maia just pretty much is – but, no, not. That's Damian Maia's game, is grappling. But what I'm going by is saying that I seen him control Masvidal for all 3 rounds in that fight. So, again, I mean, the wrestling factor, if it is going to be a way I see Masvidal losing this fight, it's going to be that, just getting grinded out, and he's going against the best wrestler in the division or in the organization, and Usman's hands has gotten better as well. Are they on the caliber of Masvidal? Absolutely not. But as far as him progressing as a striker, he's definitely getting better. As you can see, some of his, he got, some of his fights, he's throwing more strikes and it's close range. He could fight in the clinch. Dirty boxer, the way he was catching Willie with them power shots on the fence was crazy. So it's good. That's what, to me, it all comes down to that. How good is Masvidal's wrestling? Is he going to be able to keep Usman off him? Because how Tony Ferguson says, a wet blanket. He's just going to be all over Masvidal. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he gets tagged, which he will get tagged, because of course the fight starts standing. So, and not to say that Usman, now I'm not sleeping on Usman hands either. So it's kind of crazy both ways. You know what I'm saying? You got a wrestler that's hands is getting better, and then you got a strong stand-up artist whose wrestling we don't know is all the way there. So it's gonna come down to who tighten up they armor in a way to be all around. You know what I'm saying? So again, I really don't know who's gonna win, because like I said, I could definitely see if Usman definitely fights Masvidal the way he fight Covington, just stand and trade, he's definitely gonna get hurt. You know what I'm saying? I could see possibly him getting stopped, or just getting badly hurt all 5 rounds. Or I could definitely see Usman applying his great wrestling, and then from the wrestling to the strikes, from the strikes to the wrestling. Both of their gas tanks is second to none, so you're definitely not going to see them getting tired. You can see them inflicting more damage on each other, and just it's just going to come down who wanted more, period. Who wants it more? And you can't ask for a better fight than that, Shout out to Masvidal taking it, short notice, stepping in, living up by his moniker, fight anytime, you know what I'm saying? He just goes, man. He just goes. And like I said, if he pull this off on Saturday, one of the biggest title runs in UFC histories, man. I know the Robbie Lawler's his title run was sensational. The Bisping title run sensational. GSP, couple fighters title runs were amazing. John Jones, the youngest, the catch to the belt at that time, whatever the case may be. So I'm just looking forward to this fight, man. Again, I'm really torn between it, who's gonna win. I'm really torn, you know what I'm saying? I just, hopefully everything, knock on this wood, hopefully everything goes how it should go, and hopefully get to see this fight. Like, again, I'm gonna get my other predictions on it, because that's not only, even though that fight is phenomenal and monstrous by itself, you still got other fights on there that's just es míos. So again, I'm gonna talk about that on my Anchor podcast. I just had to jump on the tool, give my intake on this main event right here. So that's it. YouTube, I'm out.